meeting. But we're pleased to welcome now Dr. B.R. Jones, Superintendent of the Jones County School District. Dr. Jones, thanks for coming on.
Sure thing. Good morning. Good morning.
All right, give us an update. What's going on here in the Jones County School District?
Great things. Great things. Achievement has been through the roof the last couple of years. We're very excited about that. We're getting some preliminary data on our achievement for next year. We're setting records there as well with our third grade reading data. So we're very, very excited. Lots of good things going on in Jones County.
So the governor certainly has been boasting quite a bit, and well, he should, because we've received national attention. The Mississippi Miracle, as it is known for, dramatic improvement in our scores in this third grade reading gate, in math as well. What do you attribute that to?
Hard work.
Okay.
Teachers digging in, students digging in, parental support. We're very blessed with that here in Jones County. Our parents really turn out for our schools, and it shows. It does.
Yeah. Well, the governor likes to say it was conservative policies that were a key factor in improving our test scores and just the quality of education in general. And he often references, Dr. Jones, just sort of some common sense approaches to teaching the subject matter and maybe returning to the old days, using phonics, for example, to teach English and communications.
We focus on the basics. We talk about the 4 R's in Jones County School District. Of course, reading, writing, arithmetic, but also we add to that recess, which includes all of our arts and activities and sports and those types of things that really, turns out kids don't come to school to go to English. They love to be involved in the show choir or the band and those other activities. So we focus on the basics here, and we feel like our teachers are doing a better job every year of doing that, and we're providing training and resources and those types of things to help promote that.
Plus, kids need a rounded education as well.
They do.
They need some balance in that. It can't all just be heads down in the books, subject matter, the sort of stuff that can be a bit of drudgery. But if they got something to sort of look forward to, such as arts or recess or outside activities, they tend to be a little more motivated.
They do, and that's where they learn teamwork. There was a report done many years ago back in the 80s about why people lost their jobs. And in many cases, it wasn't because they didn't have the knowledge or the skill to do the job. It was because they couldn't work together with other people as a team. And so that's one of the things that we feel like those activities teach our kids, is teamwork, perseverance. What you're going to get knocked down. Yeah. So what do? It's all up to the way you approach it and the way you react to it.
How many schools in the district?
We have 9 schools, our traditional schools. We have 6 elementary schools, 3 high schools. We have a vocational center, and we have an alternative education center. So we have 11 total locations in our school district.
And what's the total enrollment?
We average between 8,500 and 8,700 students. We're the 8th largest school district in the state of Mississippi. And so we serve quite a few students across Jones County.
Now, are you on a year-round attendance basis, or what's your schedule?
Well, we use that terminology year-round. Actually, all schools are required for students to be in instruction for 180 days.
Okay.
Some just spread that out with additional breaks throughout, the calendar. We actually stuck with a more traditional calendar. We still have a summer break. Now we did add a fall break, which is a little different. Of course, we have the other traditional holidays, but when we looked at and we actually surveyed our community before we decided to go that more traditional route, and it was kind of 50-50. And one of the things that I was a little concerned about was people were talking about the research. Well, there's not a person in this country that wouldn't change a schedule if they thought it was going to make students read better or write better. But it turns out it's the quality of the instruction that occurs day by day. And so the schedule and those types of things, there could be some benefits there, but we find that it's the quality of what's happening every day with the student and the teacher, in the classroom. And so we just didn't change for the sake of change.
It's interesting that your survey resulted in a 50-50, because that's kind of my gut feel, is that there's no consensus on this.
Right.
It's pretty evenly split on those that want a year-round with some breaks built into that, or those that want a more traditional schedule with a summer break.
And we've been able to modify our traditional schedule in a way that we still get some additional breaks throughout.
Yeah.
And, the fall break has been one of the biggest things we've done, because you hit school really hard those first 45 days, and having a little break there, too, as the weather starts to cool a little bit and things like that, our parents and our students both really appreciate that.
A lot of discussion this year, really across the country, but including here in Mississippi, about cell phone restrictions in the classrooms and in schools. What are your thoughts on that?
We have policies that restrict the use of cell phones in the classroom, but we also recognize that under the teacher's direction, cell phones can be of an educational use if used appropriately. You think about it, years ago, we had to go to the library to look in the encyclopedias. Now you have the world of information right in the palm of your hand. So I think it's the way you approach it. I think it's the way that you utilize it. But we still have policies that restrict the use of cell phones inside the classroom.
Yeah. How important is it? You mentioned when we first started talking about having parental involvement and how you thought that really contributed to our success in the classroom. How important is that?
It's critical. It's critical. And I think that one of the reasons why we're actually seeing a teacher shortage now could be related to that. Teachers don't feel as valued as they once did. At one time, and I do this with crowds many times, I'll ask them, who's that one or two people in your life that really had a significant impact in your life? And typically it's a teacher or coach that they will call.
Sure.
And so the reasons why, because that person made them feel valued. That person made them feel like they could exceed their potential. And so I think we've lost a touch of that across the state. And so I think we've got to get that back. I think we've got to value, what our teachers do each and every day. Their jobs get harder and harder. The expectations on them to be in place of a parent sometimes gets more and more, as some of the things that we see students coming from as far as struggling with parental relationships and things like that. And it's timely that we're having this discussion right now, because this is Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yeah.
And so I would think that anybody out there that's listening, or anybody in the legislature, or anybody decision makers, could look back and they could think about, that teacher had a significant impact in my life. I would not be where I am today, and I say that all the time. There's one in particular that I remember. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her. She saw something in me when I didn't see it in myself.
Interesting. Well, there are lots of studies that show, even in the private sector, just organizational structure and management in general, that's like a top issue among employees. They want to feel valued. Mm-hmm. And if you can build a culture that does that, you'll get better output. Before we go here, the new funding formula, how is that that the legislature passed last year? How's that affected you? Is it been any problem for you?
It's been a positive thing,
okay.
And I'm just hoping that they'll fund us again.
You got to get them back in there.
That's exactly right. But like I say, we're going to take what we've got and do the very best we can with it.
Sure.
We've tried to be good stewards, with our local taxpayers, and we certainly do that with the state funding that we receive as well. And our goal is to be the very best in everything that we do. We want to be excellent in academics, the arts, and athletics. And so, we try to utilize every resource we have to put our kids first and to provide them an environment where they can thrive.
Yeah. It's also important, before we go here, to continue to develop and grow and scale the economy in a community. That also tends to make the schools better as well, does it not?
It does. And sometimes one thing that's lost sometimes is that we are the fourth largest employer in our county.
Yeah.
And so we have an economic impact back to our county in a positive way. Any projects that we do, we try to put a priority on using local vendors and those types of things as best we can with the purchasing laws and things like that. And so we feel like we give back to the community in many different ways.
Dr. B.R. Jones, Superintendent, Jones County School District, has been our guest. Thanks for coming on.
Yes,
really
sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Folks, we're stepping aside for a break. Up next, Lynn Buckholtz, the mayor of Ellisville, Mississippi.